Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Last week at the end of the Informal Program, I called Adolis Garcia Adolis Garcia. A huge mistake. I will take whatever penalty comes.
Live from a city in Southern California, this is the Informal Program. In for your suspended host, Daniel West, here's John Beanie.
I never thought they would ask, but here I am. It is I, John Beanie, coming to you from the green room here in Los Angeles next to Daniel's studio. I'm being told Daniel is appealing the suspension as we speak, and he may be in for the second half of the show. We'll see. The board right now is discussing the matter, and I will keep you up to date on that as the day goes on. This is John Beanie. I am the audio engineer for the Informal Program, and I don't normally get to do this, so I'm very excited to have you with me today. I thought Dave was going to say something, but he's not. I thought he was going to try to mess me up at the beginning, but he's not. All right, so here's how it's going to work. Sorry. I'm a little choked up. I didn't expect this. First of all, thoughts of Daniel and his situation. But more importantly, let's get to the top 10. How many of I get to do? I don't actually know how many I'm gonna get to do here. But we're going to begin, every Sunday this crew gets together at a hotel and they break down the top 10. It's like the tablets, but less spiritual and cool. And it's the top 10 words of the week in the words of sports, and we're going to count them down. So we're going to begin with number 10. At number 10 is the word, let me see here, Springbok. Springbok. Do you know what Springbok is? Springbok is the mascot. It's an animal, I think. Is it an animal? I get to play the sound bites too because I'm back here in the booth.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is, I didn't test this to make sure everything sounded good, but let's try it.
Yes.
Yeah, that works. So the Springbok is an animal in South Africa, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, Springbok, that's the mascot for South Africa. And Daniel was watching rugby, and they won the Rugby World Cup. So congratulations to the Springboks of South Africa. They beat New Zealand. Yeah, congratulations. And all the people in South Africa. Hang on a minute. Hang on.
We are winners! Winners! Winners!
And the country of
Full of winners! We know we're a winning
country.
Yeah, congratulations to them. So the Springboks are at number 10. I wish Daniel were here to discuss the thing, but he's not. So that's that. Number 9 is finally, because Kansas, they have a football team. I don't know if you knew that because they're really good at basketball. And a lot of people don't know Kansas actually. They invented football. Is that right?
Yes.
Dr. James Naismith's brother, he invented football in Kansas. And the team's not very good though. They played Rutgers in the first game, if I'm correctly. Am I correct in that? I think,
Yes.
Yeah, they played Rutgers. I don't remember, was it Bob Naismith? Was that his name?
Yes.
Yeah, so Bob Naismith invented football right after James invented basketball,
Yes.
and they haven't been good. So they played they played Oklahoma.
Yes.
Why is your head in your hands, Dave? The camera can't see you. Dave is not happy. I think he wants Daniel back. I think that's what it is.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm still here because he's in suspension right now or something. Well, we'll find out during the break what happened to him. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Does anyone help? Dave, can you please get your head out of your hands and help me out here? Thank you. Kansas, Dr. James. Okay, so Kansas plays football in the Big 12, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, Big 12. And they play Oklahoma every year.
Yes.
Yeah, most years. And Kansas and Oklahoma, they play a lot, and Kansas hadn't beaten them since 1997, when a lot of you listening may not have even been born. Some of you were born, some of you remember it, some of you were there, but a lot of them weren't. And they beat them this weekend, so Kansas beat Oklahoma. Congratulations to Kansas. Hang on.
Congratulations. This has been a disaster.
You're probably right. Well, Daniel shouldn't have said Adolis Garcia. I'm fancy big. Yeah, he should have said Adolis Garcia like the rest of us say. I tried to warn him, but no, Adolis. Oh, I'm fancy. Anyway, that's number 9. Number 8 is the word Steph for Steph Curry. He's a basketball player on the Suns. No, the Warriors. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Warriors. He plays the Warriors. And he he did some moves on Dylan Brooks. Did you see that? He was playing against the Rockets, and Dylan Brooks, who got paid a lot of money to go to the Rockets and just like dribble a basketball because the Rockets had money and they had to spend it, or else they would, go into relegation, and then the Salt Lake Bees would come up or something. I don't know how that works. And so, yeah. So anyway, Steph was playing this game with Dylan Brooks, and Dylan is like, "I'm gonna guard you, Steph Curry," and then Steph is like, "No, you aren't," and then Steph dribbles the ball, and then Dylan Brooks goes flying in the air, and then Steph waits for Dylan to go back to where he was before, and then he dribbles again, and he goes flying in the air again, and then he shoots a three, and then after he shoots the three, Steph runs up the court, and he looks like the Scream from Van Gogh. He's like, "Oh," because he couldn't believe that. My voice got really high there because he couldn't believe that he had just like clowned Dylan Brooks like that, and it was wild. And they were in the Rockets Center in Houston. They were in Houston. They weren't in an actual rocket though. They were in the arena that's shaped like a rocket. Is it shaped like a rocket? I think it is. Yeah. Yes. It was one of the first arenas built after Dr. Naismith's brother made basketball, because they were both doctors. So Dr. Naismith, Bob, and then the other one who made basketball, James. Yeah. Anyway, so they were in the Rocket Arena, and even though they were in the Rocket Arena, everyone was like, "Oh, Steph Curry's the best," because he did this great move on Dylan Brooks. So that's why the number 8 word of the week is the word Steph. We're going to go to break right now. Hopefully Daniel is done with suspension, because I don't want to do this anymore. We'll be back or something. I don't know. Thanks for watching.
We're sorry. You're listening to the Informal Program.
You're clear.
Oh my goodness. Can I please go back?
I hold on. The panel's gonna have a ruling here in just a minute, so hang on. Hang tight. They're ruling right now. I can hear them in the other room deliberating.
How many people are in there?
Like 40 people in there.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people. I don't understand how he did it. Adolis Garcia?
Didn't he write it down for him?
Yeah, hasn't he watched baseball? How did he say Adolis? Adolis Garcia? Who is Adolis Garcia? A painter?
It's Adolis Garcia.
Well, yeah, I don't. Oh, come on. Adolis Garcia. It's embarrassing. It brings down the brand of this show to have our host mispronouncing the word of the week like that. It's shameful. Oh, he's free. Okay, he can come back now. He's free off suspension. All right, get the studio ready. He's coming in there.
All right, we'll pop the mic.
And now, back to the Informal Program. Free from suspension, here's your host, Daniel West.
Welcome in to the Informal Program, ladies and gentlemen. I am Daniel West, freed, and I do wish to make a quick apology, which is I apologize on behalf of this fine, reputable broadcasting establishment that we allowed the word of the week to be fouled up like that. Adolis Garcia was last week's word of the week. He did amazing things. We had no stats for him because apparently we all said he did amazing stuff and decided not to go into detail about what he did. But he has led the Texas Rangers to the World Series, and you may be hearing more about the World Series in the moments ahead. It is time, as we were counting down the words of the week so far, Springboks, congratulations to the world champion rugby team from the country of South Africa.
We are winners! 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 We know we're a winning
Country.
That's right. The number 9 word of the week is finally, as in finally, after many years, Kansas has beaten Oklahoma in college football. And number 8 is the word Steph. We're not doing it justice on the radio, but Steph Curry just decided to go into a Harlem Globetrotters routine on poor Dylan Brooks, who was sent into the air several times. He was sent flying, all while the home Rockets crowd gasped, not in horror, but in amazement at what Steph Curry was doing. And then Steph Curry ran down the court with his head in his hands as if he, like the emoji, he looked like the emoji, the shocked emoji, as if he too was disturbed by what he had just done to a professional basketball player. So those are the bottom 3, excuse me.
Well, we're off to a great start.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your confidence. The number 7. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Why is finally up here twice?
Uh-oh, that's a mistake. Number 7, that was a placeholder, actually. So hang on just a minute. The new snail's getting word number 7 ready here.
Okay, hang on. Live radio, ladies and gentlemen. Number 7 is not finally. Or is it? Wait a minute. Is finally up here twice? Is that what happened? We'll find out in a moment. Hang on. We're getting a letter in from the new snail.
We have a letter.
There it is.
Whoa! It's right. It is finally. Whoa. Okay, so some stuff has happened. I think we need more imaging here.
Can we just get to whatever this is without the constant motion back and forth? Can we please just get to what we need to get to, please?
Hang on. No, he's right. We need more imaging. Hang on a minute. Stall for a moment.
We have another trade to announce.
James Harden finally has been traded to the Los Angeles Clippers.
All right.
What?
Do we have offers on the package?
Robert Covington is involved. Nicholas Batum is involved. Some other players are involved, but they didn't give out Terrence Mann. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like it. So number 7 is finally, as in finally, James Harden has been traded. He is now a member. You just heard it moments ago breaking from the news snail. He's been traded to the Los Angeles Clippers from the Philadelphia 76ers. I think the moment that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who has become a borderline superstar in the NBA, was traded to Oklahoma City for Paul George, this Clippers team is now basically under hostage. Basically, for the next how many ever years, you do whatever you can, you give away whatever you can to give this historically cursed franchise a shot at a title. They crossed one hump, which was to make it to the Western Conference Finals. They did that. Congratulations to them for that. We were kind of off the air when that happened. But yeah, congratulations. We are winners. We don't have to do the whole thing, but congratulations to them for finally.
We are
Yeah,
winners!
That's right.
Winners! We know
Yes.
we're a winning city
Yes.
full
Amen.
of winners!
Yes. They finally got over that hump. Now, can they make it to a title? And they need to do whatever they can. And I know that there's some people out here, Clipper fans, who are happy about this bench. I'm just going to say they can find more of these guys. James Harden, as long as he's healthy and as long as he's actually willing to play, I think we're on to something. That's the big thing. Does he just get bored of this in a year and he wants to go to Phoenix? I don't know. That's the thing. So number 7, finally, James Harden traded. Number 6 is the word Brian, as in Brian Ferentz. If you are listing in Iowa City, we don't like to celebrate people losing their jobs. However, I do want to congratulate you because you have suffered through literally, statistically, the worst offense in college football. But it was announced earlier this week that Brian Ferentz, the offensive coordinator, some may say the offensive coordinator as well, of the Iowa Hawkeyes will not return at the end of the year. Okay, now I don't know if you're playing Hallelujah, but that's how the people in Iowa feel. They're very happy. We don't normally do this, but because we were so late there, we're going to try to fit in 4 words next segment. So stick tight. Numbers 5, 4, 3, and 2. Words of the week will be coming up after the break. I am Daniel, returning from suspension. Shout out to Adolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers. I totally blanked on his name, despite watching him and listening to his name pronounced throughout these postseasons. Today's show, normally brought to you in this segment by the Unnamed Shadow Corporation, but they have ceded their time to the November Awareness Society, wanting to make sure that we remember that November is a month that exists between Halloween season and Christmas. There is Thanksgiving in this month. There's Thanksgiving in this month, which may explain why corporate America has forgotten about it. However, take a moment, be thankful, grateful for the people around you, eat some food, and remember that November exists. For more information about the November Awareness Committee, look at a calendar. Month number 11, between 10 and 12, it's right there. It has 30 days. Is that correct? I'm looking at the copy here.
30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. Yep.
Well, I mean, the rhyme was helpful, but they could have put it up here. Anyway, Let's go now to the newsroom. Bagman in Los Angeles.
And now, live from the newsroom in Los Angeles, it's Bagman.
I am Bagman. Normally bring you the news of the week. Hang on. Let me grab my Bagman papers. I normally bring you the news of the day, but I really want to get into this USC football game. I am disgusted. Are we sure the students at Berkeley were not protesting Alex Grinch's defense? Are we sure that it was about a teacher? I don't know. We don't have sound bites in this segment. This is a very serious segment. I don't need that kind of childish foolishness. However, they delayed the inevitable. They lost, but USC tried as much as they could. Can we please stop at 50-49? Are we playing college basketball or football? I say it again. Good luck in the Big Ten. Brian Ferentz, you left at the wrong time because wait till USC comes in 2025 and you can run 50 up on these people. Outrageous. Back to the show.
And now, back to the Informal Program.
Danny West with you here on the Informal Program. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. We will begin with the... Oh, hang on. Hold on. Hang on. We got a letter. Excuse me for a moment here. This intro is too long. It's too long. I don't know why it's so long.
We have a letter.
Whoa! Colorado players were robbed at the Rose Bowl.
What? Really?
Yeah, he stole jewelry and stuff.
Really? That's the voice of John Beatty, engineer of the show, who you heard attempting to host at the beginning, and Dave Rogers, producer of the show. They were robbed, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to get into this, but let me just say, I don't think that's Colorado there. I see some people in the media, although this just came out moments ago, I see some people saying that, maybe the players shouldn't, have flashy jewelry or whatever. I will also say, I live near some place up the street. It was robbed. Just a nice little jewelry store that no one really paid any mind to, and it was just busted into, and they just stole jewels. Like, we have cartoonish thieves right now in SoCal. That's all I'm going to say. Like, we are mere days away from a literal dude with an eye mask holding a giant bag of money walking out of a bank. Like, it's absurd. So I wouldn't blame Colorado players too much. Yeah, they flash their wealth on social media, but also the thieves are literally everywhere. And someone may just take Bagman while I'm on the air right now. Bagman may be carried out in a sack of some sort. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, that's all I got on the crime. Around here, you can look it up. The number 5 word of the week. We got to go through these quickly because we got to get to number 2 in this segment. The number 5 word of the week is the word low, as in record low. It is a shame that it appears no one is interested in this World Series, according to the metrics. Ratings for the World Series Game 1 and 2 are the lowest in recorded history.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good.
That's not good. It is a compelling series, and it does bring into question the idea as we continue this series. We'll have more next week. We have the news snail on it. He's watching the series thoroughly. He will let us know what happened. Is Game 1 over? They're in extra innings right now. Okay, thank you. Keep me up to date. Corey Seager with the late home run to tie. All right, thank you. So next week we'll have more on the World Series, but it does bring up the question, is baseball just a game of large markets no matter who actually is in the jerseys?
Yes.
Because I'm beginning to feel that if we just took the current Rangers, put them in Red Sox uniforms, everyone would say, oh, look at these stars. But instead they're in Texas uniforms, like, I never heard of this Simeon guy. That's just how I feel. Like, give me the roster of the 2017 Dodgers, compare it to these Rangers. Who had more star power? That's a legit question. Because most of these Dodger guys right now, and at the time then who made the World Series, and in 2018, they were cast off A's. They were dudes in the farm system. Chris Taylor was a journeyman. Like, Max Muncy is not a household name in baseball, except the fact that he plays in Los Angeles. Chris Taylor is not some mega star. So those are just my thoughts. If you put them in uniforms of Chicago or Los Angeles, suddenly everyone's clapping and saying, oh, look at this. Like, give the Diamondbacks, the current Diamondbacks team, give them Cubs uniforms, and they're the lovable underdogs with the young guy. But no, it's Arizona, so we don't care. It's weird. It's weird. It's the reverse of basketball, where it does not matter who is in the jersey. As long as the jersey is from a city that we care about, suddenly these guys are wonderful. All right, we got to move quickly here. Coming in at number 4, the number 4 word of the week is the word Wemby for Wembanyama. He has started his NBA career, and he looks all right. I would just say get in the post a little bit more, my man. I know that you fashion yourself to be a guard, a wing player, but Victor, you're 7'4". Like, even if you're not Shaq down there, just throw the ball over their heads. They cannot block you. You will be unstoppable. The number 3 word of the week.
Man, you're really mowing through these.
I got to move quickly. Is the number 3 word of the week is the word Ohio, as in Ohio State, who in somewhat surprising fashion ended up number 1 in the first college football playoff rankings.
What?
They went over Georgia.
What?
Went over Michigan, which isn't much of a surprise because Michigan hasn't played anyone, and over Florida State.
What?
I guess they do have the best wins in the country, so that's why they're number 1.
Yes.
But still, it was a little bit surprising.
Talk about shocking.
All right, the number 2 word of the week is the word Richard, as in Richard Childress. This is a wild story that maybe we need to delve more into in a future time. But if you're wondering why NASCAR is number 2, let me explain what happened to you last Saturday. NASCAR has a playoff format where you have 4 drivers eventually in a knockout format who reach the championship race to run for a championship. The highest finisher wins. It's like cars. And Richard Childress had 2 drivers fighting for those spots. Essentially, they crashed into each other. Neither one made the finale. And after the race, Richard Childress is on record calling Sheldon Creed, one of the drivers, quote, this is a real quote from a real NASCAR team owner, the stupidest driver I have ever had.
Totally uncalled for. Totally.
You want some beef? Check out what happened there. We'll be back.
Are you clear? Well, I'll be you did it. I didn't believe you. I did not believe you could do it.
Really? That's a big... I appreciate your confidence in me, Dave, that you didn't realize that I could actually do that.
Well, I mean, listen, man, it's a lot to get through. We got to get better with timing, but I think you've had a clean show so far. I have a handful of errors you made last show if you'd like the list here.
I wouldn't necessarily, but we can do this right now.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, the list was over you. So, Dusty Baker, you forgot that he was a Giants manager.
Oh, that was the team I was missing.
Yep. I think you said it was 6 hours from San Francisco to San Diego. I don't know if that's with or without traffic. You said University of Michigan, not Michigan University. And you forgot Palpatine, and yeah, so those are your mistakes. All right, you're back in 4.
Oh, baby, it's time to close out with the Informal Program. Sorry.
Is there a virus of some sort going around? I don't know what's happening around here. People coughing, hacking. John Beanie hosting part of the show. It is the Informal Program. I'm Daniel West. This is not one of our most glowing episodes, but you can still follow the show. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Follow along. Enjoy the wildness here. Real quick, the list. Number 10. Excuse me. I had something in my throat as well. Springboks, as in the South African national rugby team, who are now the world champions after defeating New Zealand in the World Cup final.
We are winners!
That's right.
Winners! Winners!
Number 9 is the word finally, as in after many years, nearly 25 years. No, more than 25 years. Yeah, more than 25 years, actually. Because I'm getting my years confused. And since 1997, Kansas beat Oklahoma in a college football game. Number 8 is Steph for Steph Curry, who decided to turn Dylan Brooks into a Harlem Globetrotters opponent as he dribbled all over him, sent him into the crowd, sent the crowd into a frenzy, looked like the emoji doing the shocked face while he did it. At number 7 is finally again, James Harden has been traded at last. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. He is now a member.
Yeah, you're right. There is something going around.
He is now a member of the...
Do we not have a cough button?
No, we ran out of money.
I don't finish. I'll finish. If I need to sneeze again, I'll just give you a heads up here. At number 7, James Harden has been traded. I need to sneeze again. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. James Harden been traded to the Philadelphia 76ers to the Clippers at long last. Number 6, Brian Ferentz will be out at the end of the year at Iowa as our offensive coordinator. He currently is the head of the worst offense in college football. That is not hyperbole. He literally is 133rd out of 133 schools in offense. What? Number 5 is the word low. Unfortunately, despite its intrigue, despite game 1, which are still in extra innings, is that right, New Snail? Yes, okay. And despite a riveting game 1, well, how did game 2 happen if we haven't finished game 1? The timelines. Okay, very good. The multiverse you're talking about? Okay, very good. So if I'm not even gonna ask. Okay. Anyway, whatever games have gone on in the World Series that the New Snail's viewing, yeah, they are the lowest rated in history because apparently people are so concerned about the front of the jerseys, they don't really care about the back anymore. Weird. Number 4 is the word Wemby for Victor Wembanyama, who made his NBA debut and could use him a little more time down in the post. Number 3 is for Ohio, as in Ohio State, the kind of surprising but somewhat deserved number 1 team in the college football playoff rankings. And number 2 is Richard for car owner Richard Childress, who after his 2 NASCAR drivers crashed into each other and lost a chance to win the championship, called one of them, Sheldon Creed, the stupidest driver that he's ever had in his career. Now, without further ado, the word of the week.
And now it's time for the Informal Program Word of the Week.
And now, the word of the week.
The word of the week is the word trades, and not as in James Harden trade. I mean as in NFL trades. 2 specifically, Josh Dobbs, Tennessee volunteer football legend, on his way to the Minnesota Vikings after Kirk Cousins was injured and is out for the season. But the big one, Chase Young, defensive end for the Washington football team, because they're so incompetent they really don't even deserve to be called by any nickname, is on his way to the 49ers. So if you don't get tackled by Nick Bosa, well, there's Chase Young on the other side of the field. Today's show has been loosely produced by Dave Rogers, audio engineering and fill-in hosting by John Beanie. I am Daniel, the host. You have been the listeners. Thank you for listening. We will catch you next week, hopefully. Until then, bye.
This is the Informal Post Show.
Did you say trade? Did you pronounce trade correctly?
Yeah, that's good.
I thought we should use more time. Don't hit your own microphone, man. What? How many years have you been doing this?
I'm sorry.
I thought we needed a little more time to spread out, because it feels very compact. Maybe we need fewer words of the week so you can really cook, man. Because we spent like 4 seconds on each of them. I did the time, and it's like 4 seconds on each word.
Maybe we can look into that.
Yeah. Anyway, good show. You didn't totally mess it up at the end like before.
Oh, wait, hold on. We haven't finished. Hold on. He finished. Wait. Oh, man.
I think we're going to run out of time.
All right, cut the music. Rangers won game 1.
Oh, excellent.